Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Otaku Talk. My name is OD, and today we're going to get into chapter 982 of One Piece. Alright, so listen up, we are finally here. It is the day of the Fire Festival, it's the day of Onigashima Raid, and this is what Oda has been building up to for numerous chapters now. Now bear with me, I know a lot of you have been kind of, getting tired, wearing down on the whole Wano arc. There's been so much going on, but nothing going on. However, when it comes to Oda, there's never nothing going on. It is all setup upon setup upon setup. So you have to always bear with it until the huge climax. Alright? So we're finally at the Fire Festival and shit's about to get fucking crazy, okay? So we have the Ninja Samurai Mink Pirate Alliance. So we have several teams. I can't even keep track right now. I need to go over the map. But we have several teams of people approaching the island from several different points. We have people embedded in the Beast Pirates crew going undercover. We have, fucking Zoro, Kid, Killer, and Luffy just saying fuck the plan, but honestly, we all knew they weren't gonna follow the plan. Between Luffy and fucking Kid, you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them shit. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do, and I believe that was an inherent part of the plan. Because at this point, if you're a member of either of their crew and don't know how they're gonna act, you're as dumb as them. And then you have Zoro, who, at least he has to stick with them, or he's gonna be lost. So we have a lot going on in this chapter, and let's delve into it. So firstly, let's get into what's happening with Lord Orochi, Momosuke, and Momonosuke, Kanjuro, and Kaido. So Kanjuro has captured and brought Momonosuke over to Kaido, and let's just be real, he's fucked up. He beat the ever-living shit out of this kid. And honestly, I cannot wait for Luffy to show up and see exactly how bad they fuck this dude up. Because, as we've seen throughout the series, you fuck with Luffy's Nakama, he is going to give you everything you gave that person back 10, 20, 100 times fold. So the worst thing you can do is give Luffy, who's usually happy-go-lucky, a reason to fight. Because normally he's just, going to do his due diligence and just knock you out. But when you make it personal, for him, God forbid, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because, you will have the wrath of the future Pirate King on you. And so, obviously not a good choice, but, when you're working for someone like Kaido, when you're working for someone so powerful, you and yourself feel, a little bit of their power. You feel protected. You feel immunity. So, he did that even though he's the son of Lord Odin, the son of his former lord, who he swore loyalty to and then betrayed. The fact that he can do this, it crosses a line that I don't even think, maybe Luffy might not even have to deal with it. Maybe Luffy tries to fuck up Kenjiro and Kinemon's like, no. I want to do this. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm very, very excited to see what rage and inspiration that sparks in the Alliance. So as I mentioned before, we have a lot going on in terms of what's happening and who's going where. We have Nico Mushi and the Guardians heading west with, I believe, the Whitebeard Pirates in accompaniment with Marco. So that's that power, and they're heading west. And we have Inuarashi heading north with the Law Heart Pirates. We have Denjiro heading south, and then we have Kinemon heading east. And he was with Nami, Chopper, and Usopp and Carrot. However, Big Mom has showed up, and that's a huge twist in the plan. Which, by the way, I want to take a second to say, this plan is not going to go right. It's not. Every single arc we have, there's a plan, and he gets thrown to the wind. And if you think that it being thrown to the wind has already happened because of what's happening with Luffy and Kid and whatnot, no. There is going to be a tremendous moment of despair for them. However, there's going to be something that happens, some moment that changes the tide. And the thing I think that's going to be is some people don't remember this, but earlier Kinemon was talking about all these ships, right? And in this chapter, they're talking about how there's supposed to be an invasion, but they don't see any ships. So where are all these people? Because don't forget, the villagers are also going to be a part of this invasion. The villagers of Wano also want to rebel, also want to fight. So where are all these, let's say, thousands of people? And that's a really good question. So on top of the fact that Kinemon said he's going to have Frankie fix up the ships. First of all, we know Frankie, he's not just going to repair the ships. He's going to pimp my ride. He's going to make those jaunts really, really dope. But there's something else going on. So during the Fire Festival, they have these sky ships, right? So my theory, and I've read it and seen it in other places, is that he might convert the ships into sky ships. Now, sky ships are usually, pretty small, probably no bigger than, I want to say, like a dog or something like that, like a, fairly large sized dog. But knowing Frankie and his capabilities as a shipwright, I think he is going to make the actual ships, like the large ships, into sky ships themselves, have them sail above during the night of the Fire Festival, and then when it is, a time of desperation or, time where an army is needed, they're going to descend. Because think about it, while these sky ships and lights are floating around, it's going to be hard to differentiate, small ones from large ones, right? Until it's too late. The closer they get, the moment of, oh fuck, those are actual ships. But how long is that going to take anyone to notice? Everyone's going to be drunk. Now we know that Kaido doesn't really care about being drunk. We've seen him drunk like ever since, his arrival into the series. He's always drunk, so that's not going to be a point of, weakness for him. But everyone else, who's going to expect, a sky invasion? So I truly think that's what's going to happen, because we know Oda. We know he likes to slip little things in, and I believe this is something that he put in that's going to be overlooked. Anyway, back to, I want to talk about Kinemon's East, Team Kinemon's East invasion. So right now we have a huge problem. They've been discovered by Big Mom. Big Mom is a Yonko. Yonko are on a level that we're not even sure if Luffy can handle it at this point. That's honestly another part of this whole, arc is Luffy finally on the level of a Yonko. So they don't even have Luffy there. It's just Nami, Chopper, Usopp, Carrot, and the one old Kunoichi chick. I forget her name. How are they going to take her? I'm going to tell you right now that Tank isn't going to do anything. And it's probably going to be Nami versus Prometheus. And she's probably going to use Zeus. Which I always thought was weird, because I get the fact that she's able to feed him clouds and stuff. But if Zeus is a homie made of Big Mom's soul, you think he'd be more loyal. But anyway, I'm sure there's more to that. But I'm sure it's going to be Nami versus Prometheus. And then Chopper, Usopp, and Carrot are going to somehow have to deal with Big Mom. And I honestly don't see how they're going to be able to do it. I forget if it's a full moon right now, because maybe, she can go Super Lion mode. I forget the Japanese name. And maybe be able to hold it down for a little bit. But overall, they're going to need a miracle, because there's no way they're going to be able to survive Big Mom. So I look forward to that. In the meantime, Kinemon is going to take advantage of them holding back Big Mom to continue his invasion force. And like I said earlier, we have, Jinbei, Robin, and the people that actually followed the infiltration part of the mission still infiltrated within the ranks of the Beast Pirates. So there's a lot going on and a lot of setup for epic climax. Now next up, just like we have Kanjuro, who was loyal to Odin and now switched sides and works for Orochi, we have Denjiro, who was loyal to Odin, seemed to have, started his own Yakuza and betrayed them, but is still loyal to Odin and Odin's people and the Red Scabbards. So I did have a little bit of a problem. So the Tobbi Rappo are supposed to be, the strongest things, right? Under the All-Stars and the headliners, right? So, you can assume they're really strong because they're over the gifters and stuff like that. But the fact that Denjiro was able to cuff, and I'm assuming in Seastone, Sasaki is a slight problem for me. Sasaki is one of the Tobbi Rappo. That was problematic for me. So they're supposed to be these really, really strong, soldiers only bested by the All-Stars and the headliners, but for him to be taken care of so easily kind of disturbs me. Maybe it's a reflection on Denjiro's power. I'm just gonna, my personal headcanon, I'm gonna go with that because otherwise I'm a little bit disappointed. But that's one Tobbi Rappo out the way. But like I said, people's plans and what happened don't tend to go the way they want. So maybe he's not really in prison. Maybe someone's gonna free him. We'll see, because it just seems way too easy. And as we know in One Piece, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And finally, we have my favorite part of this chapter. The Tobbi Rappo, ulti and page 1 running into Luffy saying, who are you? And Luffy's like, no, who the hell are you? And this is going to be dope because once they find out that he's Straw Hat Luffy and that, he's one of the pirates that they have to take on, and the moment Luffy finds out, these are Kaido's men and part of the ones they have to take on, there's going to be an epic fight. I'm not sure if Luffy got separated because I didn't see any of them on the panel, but I'm sure that Killer, Zoro, and Kid are around. But I don't think, all 4 are going to be necessary to stay there and fight. But this is what we've been waiting for a while. So like I said earlier in this video, you have the Tobbi Rappo, you have the headliners and the All-Stars, and then you have Kaido. So these guys aren't quite, as powerful as the rest, but this is going to serve as a good baseline, a really good baseline for just how powerful the higher-ups are. So I'm looking forward to Luffy slightly struggling, but not too much. But we don't know because Luffy struggled against Cracker at Big Mom's Island, and he was lower on the totem pole. So it's kind of hard to say just because Luffy struggles with the lower on the pole, if how he's gonna do against the higher up, because he's always able to muster that strength. So we'll see. But like I said, I would really like to see him, dominate a bit. Maybe use his new hockey. I forget the name, starts with an R. Rio hockey. Actually, honestly, I don't want to see him use that yet. I want that to be something he saves for either the All-Stars or the All-Stars headliners, or for Kaido himself. Also, I've been hearing a lot of rumors that people think that Zoro's gonna fight Kaido and Luffy's gonna fight Big Mom. I don't see it, man. Kaido has done too much wrong. He's deprived the people of his land of food, and he's made it personal. He imprisoned Luffy, so he's made it really personal. So I don't see why Luffy wouldn't fight him. But then that means who's gonna fight Big Mom? And there's a variety of people. We got Marco, who was the first division captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. We have Law, who was a Shichibukai and one of the supernovas. Did pretty decently against Doflamingo. We have Zoro, but that's weird. I just don't see Zoro fighting Big Mom. Honestly, I don't know who would fight Big Mom besides Luffy, but there's no way Luffy is going to fight both Big Mom and Kaido. It's just that would be a stretch by all imagination. Then we have certain other things to consider. Like, remember 3 or 4 chapters ago when they were mentioning finding Kaido's son? So how is he going to fit into this? How is he going to fit? Is he going to be some big powerhouse like Big Ma's son Katakuri, or he might be a shrimp? We don't know. Also, a question I've always had is, what is this favor that Big Ma did for Kaido way back? If you remember a couple chapters back, she did some kind of favor, which is why they're having the alliance in the first place. She was like, "You owe me." And I've been reading online and seeing all these rumors, and one of my favorite is that, I don't know, Kaido couldn't have a son or something, so she created a homie for him. Like, probably used the soul to create a homie that's his son, which is interesting because we've only ever seen homies in, like, non-biological creatures. But when's Kaido's son gonna show up? Because Sapphire Festival, if there's any time for him to show up, it would be now, and he requested to find him. So there's just so much going on, so much more than we realize, and I think starting after this chapter, shit's about to get real. We're getting to one of the first major fights of the arc, and I am super excited, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, thanks once again for tuning into Otaku Talk. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to really do my best to start being better on schedule about these, because this chapter came out several days ago, and my goal is to have reviews up a day after, so I'm going to start doing that. Anyway, if you like this review and you want to see more, or if you just want to support me, please subscribe, follow, and just keep watching, keep viewing, share with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. I have a lot to work on, and I promise you guys I'm going to keep working on it and keep maintaining, what I'm doing, and I'm going to try to get to a level of the YouTubers I personally love. My 2 top inspirations, and I feel like you should definitely follow and subscribe to them, are Mr. Morj, that's Mr. and then Morj. He is the best. I want to call him the encyclopedia of everything that is One Piece. If you want to get into One Piece in depth, he is definitely someone I would check out, and I aspire to be one day. And as well as Josh Hoagland. Unfortunately, Josh Hoagland has kind of branched out and started doing some movie reviews and stuff like that. But when he still does his anime reviews, they are worth watching. He's a funny guy. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.